Okay guys, so we are starting this glam Bulbasaur, Ivysaur inspired look off with painting ourselves blue or like tealy. And I'm just putting this all over my face and down my neck. I'm using the Wet n Wild Metallics paint palette to achieve this color. I really like the Wet n Wild paint palettes. However, I am still learning the best way to combine them, use them, warm them up, spread them. I like them because they play nicely with other products, unlike regular like water activated face paint. But these Wet n Wild paints are difficult to remove and difficult to wash off of brushes, so just be warned if that's the route that you go. But we're going to paint our whole face and our neck, and then later on we'll do our like shoulders and décolleté area, but I think you get the drift with painting our faces one color. Then we're going to set that heavily. I'm using the RCMA no color powder to set that, and again, set it heavily. I'm using a powder puff, going in with lots of powder and making sure that it is set, because that's going to ensure nicer blends with other powders on top of this. Just taking a large complexion brush and sweeping off any of the excess powder that you might see on the face. Next, we're going into contouring and eyes. The contouring that I'm doing, I'm using an e.l.f. What is this? e.l.f. contour brush, possibly. It's like a small complexion brush, and I'm using the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. The Zulu palette has like the perfect like aqua teal, shimmer blue, and shimmer green for this Ivysaur Bulbasaur glam look. So I'm just taking that eyeshadow and contouring it. And essentially I'm just doing like a glam contour, cheekbones, chin, forehead, just to give a little bit more depth and color to the face. And then I use a fluffy blender brush to do like the nose contour up into the eyes. I'm not really being like too precise with this. I'm just really trying to give it like a faint blend of color, just to again add a little bit of like depth to the look. But yeah, you can use any green or tealy eyeshadow or contour color. I just found that this palette had like the perfect shades and it matched my hair quite nicely. So yeah, just doing a really basic eye too, nothing too crazy, putting blue and green shimmer on my eyelids, using that green to put it above my crease to add a little bit of depth, and that's about it. Doing a little bit of highlight, still in that Juvia's Place Zulu palette, using the like bluey green highlight shade, shimmer shade I should say. Moving on to eyebrows. At first I tried to use a Wet n Wild multi-stick and just run it through my eyebrows. However, my eyebrows are incredibly dark. So I then go in with the NYX color stick in milk. What is it? Shadow stick in milk. And then I go over it with a blue or like tealy eyeshadow. I don't know if I would have actually blocked out my eyebrows. I think this worked out pretty well for me. Just going with white and then going with a darker shadow over top. But yeah. Oh, I remember the eyeshadow I used for this. I used the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Pistachio palette. The darkest shade in there, I can't remember it because I don't have it in front of me, but I used the Sweet Shop Pistachio palette from BH Cosmetics to do my eyebrows. And again, I think it worked out pretty well. Shout out to all you people who have dark eyebrows and know how to cover them well with makeup. I do not. Next, we're moving on to Bulbasaur, Ivysaur's, the Soar's spots. And for this, I went into a Wet n Wild paint palette and I put down like a pastel green first. Then I went over top of it in the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop pistachio palette with a like bright green, and then I just shaded it with a darker green. And this was probably the longest process. Again, all of this video is sped up, so you don't have to sit through the like hours of footage I had. But I was trying to make them look shaded nicely, but also look random without looking a mess. So I wanted them to look like precise without looking too precise, if that makes sense. So yeah, this took me a little bit of time and effort to do. But yeah, I think it ended up turning out well. I kind of clumped them in like little groups of 3, with like a big, medium, and a small. So that worked out, I think. Yeah, you're just kind of making like dinosaur spots. For liner, I just use that darkest shade in the pistachio palette and I buff it underneath my eyes, and then I take a small angled brush and I put it on top of my upper lid line, lash line, lid line, because I didn't want this to have like a harsh black line liner. I just wanted like this really kind of like tealy, smoky look, which I think worked out best for me. I do add a little bit of highlight just to the peaks of my face for a little bit of shimmer and shine to make this a little bit more glamorous. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Chic in Stole the Show. Then I opted for a dark berry lip. I think this one is a Kiss Me lip, which is a subscription that I got a long time ago. But it matched the coloring that I really wanted. So I liked this berry color. It was between this and a light pink shade, and I thought that the berry shade made a little bit more sense. And then after I put my lips on the way I want them, I take a white eyeliner and I draw on the little Ivysaur teeth. And I was going back and forth about this for a very long time. In a lot of pictures that I've seen on Pinterest, people do this, the teeth, but then when I put them on, they looked kind of weird, but then it photographed really well, and I just kind of went back and forth. I ultimately kept them, obviously, but I'm not so sure about them. Then after we draw the teeth on, I moved on to the rest of my body, and I, of course, ran out of paint for my shoulders and arms, so I tried to stretch it as much as I could. Again, the Wet n Wild paint palettes aren't very big, and so it's hard to mix a lot of paint to stretch for the amount of body that I need to paint. But I essentially do the same thing that I just did to my face and neck, where I just paint all of this Ivysaur light blue all over, powder it down, and then I do my little dinosaur print triangles on my shoulders and neck, just to kind of create, again, the character's continuity throughout the rest of the look. Yeah. Again, this is sped up. It took a very long time. I am wearing a shirt. It just kind of keeps falling down. So, but yeah. After body, don't forget the lashes. I did this off camera because nobody wants to see me struggle doing lashes. Boom, boom. Then the hair. I did not need a wig because my hair is this lovely Ivysaur plant green. So I just kind of like messed it up a little bit, a little dry shampoo, run my fingers through it. You know, we're a Pokemon, so it doesn't need to be super tailored. Then I made my little Ivysaur crown from the Dollar Tree. I bought some succulents, flowers, and leaves, glued them to a headband, and I thought it came out so cute. Yeah. And so this is my Ivysaur glam-inspired look. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I will list all of the products that I used in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys!